Hello friends, I hope you guys are well. Today I am bringing you along for my weekly family meal prep. This is my favorite meal prep to do because not only am I making healthy meal prep for myself and Steven for the week, but there's enough left over that our kids can eat it too. So this is kid-friendly, high-protein, healthy meal ideas for you. We're gonna be doing dinner, lunch, 2 breakfast items, and 2 snacks. I like to go high protein because that is truly what keeps me fullest the longest. And I like to do a healthy meal prep because I am a busy mom of 3. Life is unpredictable, but knowing that I have those healthy options ready to go in the fridge just makes it so much easier for me to make healthy choices. If you're new, welcome. My name is Trisha Miller. I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and stick around. Let me grab the ingredients for our first recipe and we'll get started. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is get our dinner and lunch going. I'm gonna make a Crockpot baked ziti with ground turkey. It's super high in protein. I will put the protein count per serving on the screen for you, and I will link all the recipes in the video description box for you today. But what I love about this is it's gonna be enough for dinner tonight for my entire family, and then also for lunch meal prep for Steven and I for the next couple of days. And I'm gonna half the recipe and still have enough for that, because if you do the full recipe, it makes a ton. Just to warn you, half is about right for what I will need it for. And so what I love about this is we're gonna pre-cook the meat on the stove, but then it goes in the crock pot for 2 hours and it's ready to go. All right, let me show you all the ingredients we need and then we'll get started on it. Okay, here's what we need for this recipe. We have a couple of different types of cheese going, some grated parmesan, some ricotta. I like to go part skim with that to keep it a little bit on the healthier side. Again, with the part skim, I do the same thing for my mozzarella shredded cheese. We need 1 egg, and then I go for the 99% lean ground turkey in this recipe. You could do ground beef as well. And for the pasta, to add just a little bit of extra protein, I like to do the protein plus penne. We're gonna do half of a box of this and then an entire jar of spaghetti sauce. I know there are healthier versions of spaghetti sauce to use, but this is what I grew up having and it just tastes like home every time I use Prego. So I'm going with Prego, and let's go ahead and start by getting the turkey cooked and then we'll keep going. As the weather gets chillier outside, I am definitely somebody who craves those warm comfort meals throughout the day. And I love the challenge of taking a typical comfort meal like baked ziti and finding a way to make it healthier, add extra nutrients to it, add extra protein to it. And it's really simple. Things like just choosing leaner cuts of meat. So I chose a 99% fat-free ground turkey, choosing pasta with protein in it, things like that, cheese that have a lower fat count. So it's really easy to take those comfort meals that we love and just add a little bit more of those health benefits so that we can enjoy them and know that we're still getting what our bodies need. And I want to warn you guys with the pasta, so it's a layering technique for this recipe. With the pasta that you put in first, you don't have to worry about making sure that you're mixing it up with anything because it will get plenty of the juices and things to cook it. But when we get to that second layer, the top layer, make sure all of your pasta is covered by the cheese and things like that because you want it to cook all the way through. And it truly just takes 2 hours on high, and this baked ziti is just perfect and ready to go for everybody. All right, lunch and dinner are taken care of. They're in the crock pot. I love a dump and go crock pot meal. So now what I want to do is focus on breakfast meal prep. I am somebody, I love having eggs. Eggs are my go-to, but you guys know I have a massive sweet tooth. So I find on days where I have eggs for breakfast, I'm always craving something sweet. It's probably a sugar addiction, but I just need a little something. So I'm gonna do 2 different breakfasts today, and I'm gonna have that balance of portion control where I can have both for breakfast every single day. So the first thing we're gonna make are some egg bites, but they're pinwheel tortilla egg bites. They're so good. This is a new recipe for me that I've only made one other time, and I loved them so much, and my kids love them so much. So this is definitely a family recipe that we can make. And then the other thing we're gonna do are some protein mini chocolate chip muffins. Let's start with the pinwheels, get those in the oven, and then we'll move on to the muffins. Okay, here's what you're gonna need for these pinwheel egg bites. The pinwheel part comes from a tortilla. I always love to do the Extreme Wellness Olay brand tortillas. They have extra fiber, all those good things. So that's the one I'm gonna be using for mine. You can do regular eggs, you can do egg beaters. I'm gonna do egg whites for mine. And then toppings are truly just what you want. So we have some spinach I need to use up, so I'm gonna put spinach. For the meat protein, I'm gonna do just some deli turkey. I'm gonna cut that up. Cheese, you could go cheddar. I'm gonna do the mozzarella since I already had a big bag of it that we used for the baked ziti. And then you also need some whipped cream cheese. And then for seasoning, I'm just gonna do some salt and pepper. All right, let's get these made. This is my favorite part of the recipe because I think it's fun to roll up the tortilla and cut it. I want to tell you, if you're trying to do lower carb in your diet, you could just do one tortilla and cut it up into 6 pieces. And I halved the baked ziti recipe, but I doubled this recipe because the recipe I'm going to link for you guys in the video description box is only for 6 pinwheels. But we have a large family. We have 3 children. We're a family of 5. And I wanted enough for everybody to have some and then have some left over for Steven and I for breakfast. So I wanted to make a whole dozen. So I just doubled it. But again, if you need to go lower carb, just do one tortilla or just get the lower carb tortillas that they have. I just love the Olay brand because it has the extra fiber and just some extra nutrients that other tortillas don't have. When you place each piece inside of a muffin pan, you're gonna wanna separate it out a little bit, kind of unravel it, because I'm gonna start filling it with my meat. I'm doing deli turkey, as I told you. You could do ground sausage, you could do some turkey bacon. So any type of protein or extra vegetables that you want to add to it, you can fill these with anything that you and your family love. I'm going to take the spinach and kind of tuck it in between the layers, but I'm just using all of that space because I unraveled them to just fill it with stuff. And then I'm going to pour my egg and cheese mixture right in the center of it. Some advice for you guys. And I told myself this the last time I made it, and then I totally forgot to take my own advice this time. I would wait and add the mozzarella to the tops of them at the end. You'll see when I pour it on top of them, it's not very even with the cheese, but it's also just a really exciting day when you get the pinwheel that has a ton of mozzarella cheese in it. So I'll leave it up to you if you want to make that switch or not. Let me go over ingredients for our mini muffins. So I like to use the Kodiak brand pancake and waffle mix. I know there's a bunch of different protein pancake mix brands out there. You can use whichever one you want. Kodiak is just usually my go-to. The recipe I will link for you calls for buttermilk, but I always go chocolate chip when it's an option. You're gonna need some sweetened applesauce. I'm just borrowing some from my kids. Some baking powder, an egg, vanilla, cinnamon, maple syrup, your milk of choice. I am an unsweetened vanilla almond milk kind of a girl, so that's what I'm gonna use. And then some mini chocolate chips. Since I already have chocolate chips in the batter, I'm just gonna do a little dabble on each of the muffins at the end. I wanna say something really quickly about these protein muffins because they are so versatile. You can change just a little ingredient and make them a completely different flavor. We've made several versions of these protein muffins together on this channel. I've done pumpkin, I've done cinnamon, I've done chocolate chip, I've done vanilla, I've done birthday cake. You can really just add whatever extra toppings. If you want to do birthday cake, just use the buttermilk, add some sprinkles at the end. If you want to do pumpkin, add a can of pumpkin to this recipe. So I love this because you have the base of the protein pancake mix, so you know you're getting the protein, and then you can customize it any way that your family wants. All right, let's start making this. All right, just a heads up, the recipe that I'm going to link for you guys will tell you to mix all of your wet ingredients in a separate bowl to your dry ingredients. If you've been following, you know that I am somebody who likes to minimize the number of dirty dishes I'm going to have to deal with. So it is rare that I do that extra step. I'm just mixing it all in one bowl. I started with my dry ingredients. Maybe that counts for something. But all of my just bakers out there, I'm sorry if I'm making you cringe in my methods, but just know that they still turn out delicious if you just mix it all in one bowl. So much batter left over that I didn't want to waste, so I just pulled out my heart-shaped pan. I love this thing. I originally purchased it for Valentine's Day baking, but I use it all the time. The kids love the heart shape, but I'm actually making these for Steven. He doesn't like it as sweet, so I'm leaving off the extra chocolate chips, and then they'll be perfect for him, and they're a little bit bigger than the mini muffins. Hungry. I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm just gonna eat one of these now. So good. So good and so flavorful. And just something different than your typical egg bites that everybody makes. The tortilla really makes a difference in this recipe. Let me know if you make it, what you think of it. Let's check on the muffins because my 8-minute timer just went off, and I know those are gonna need longer than these. I think, let's do the bounce test. I think they need about 2 more minutes and then they should be good to go. It smells so good in here. Okay, while those muffins are cooling off, I want to show you 2 snack ideas. They're both high protein, they're both delicious, and they both feel like a dessert when I'm eating them, which is usually about the 3 o'clock hour. Before I head to the bus stop, I get that afternoon sweet tooth. I have a little bit of a crash. This brings me back up. It's the perfect afternoon snack. So here's the 2 ideas. Let's start with the first one. It's a yogurt parfait. I like to just put them in my mason jar with my lid. Here's how I give it a little bit of a spin. The yogurt I use is the Too Good brand. I love this one. There's only 2 grams of sugar. It's vanilla flavored. It's delicious just on its own. If you wanted to have more protein, you could take your protein powder flavor of choice and mix it with the yogurt before you put it in. I don't feel the need to do that because this is high in protein. And then also what I'm going to do, so I'll do a layer of yogurt, then I'll put this on. This is the PB Fit peanut butter chocolate powder. As you can see, I'm a big fan. There's only a little bit left in this gigantic thing. It's so good. So I'll do yogurt, put a layer of this, more yogurt on top, and then for my toppings, I do a little bit more of this. And then I like to do unsalted toasted sliced almonds. Again, more protein. This is nice and filling. It balances out that sugar in the afternoon. And then right before I eat them, I'll add some of the Purely Elizabeth granola to the top of it. Sometimes I'll put some mini chocolate chips. I think we'll go ahead and do that today since we already have them out. Might as well. And it's just delicious. It feels like a dessert. It's high in protein. It's healthy. And that is what I crave in the afternoon. So let's get these together and then I'll show you another really quick snack idea. Okay, the other snack idea I want to share with you guys, this is good if you don't want to have snacks pre-made, you're on the go, you just need something quick in the afternoon that you don't want to think about until that moment. Here's my idea. We take a chocolate Quaker rice cake, again, any flavor you want. I just really like the chocolate ones. And then I'm gonna top it. I'm just gonna spread a little bit of that vanilla yogurt on it. Then I'm gonna do a layer of this chocolate peanut butter powder. And then, surprise, surprise, some mini chocolate chips. Am I using similar ingredients for all of my meal prep today? Absolutely. That's what I do, because why would I get a million different groceries when I can use the same things in different recipes throughout the week? That is always my goal. And plus, I think that makes it easier for you as well. So let's go ahead and put this together. I am absolutely gonna eat it immediately after, but let me show you how I layer it. Okay, I'm gonna eat this really quickly and then we will check on our dinner in the crock pot. I think it's pretty much done. And then I'll just get everything put in my containers that I like to use. I'll show you the ones that I prefer and then we're done. Cheers, my friends. It's gonna be messy. Okay, everything smells amazing. I can't wait to show you dinner. But before I do that, I wanted to tell you I'm not gonna take it out and put it in my containers until after we eat it tonight for dinner, but I did wanna show you what I'm gonna use and just some of my favorite meal prep containers. These are glass, they are plastic lids, but this is like a larger size, my hand for perspective. And then we have this smaller one. I actually think this is the one I'm gonna end up using for lunch portions because you can really like pack it down in there, and then this fits really nice in the fridge with what we already have in there. But these are just really good meal prep containers. I've had them both for I think over 2 years now, and they do really, really well. So I wanted to share that. Let me show you dinner/lunch. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and it gave you just some new, healthy, tasty, high protein meal prep ideas for your family. Let me know in the comments which one you're excited to try first. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!